Today I'm going to do a little quick video. As you can see here, my wife wanted to order 3 letters like this on Amazon for her kitchen, and I can't remember what the cost was, but I'm like, why? You know, it's super easy to do. Now what I did is I had some old wooden shelves, and I'm going to just do something real quick and show you how to do it yourself. So let's get started. Okay, so what I did here, let me go over here and grab this scrap piece of wood. As you can see, this used to be shelves like this, right? So it's about from the edge here, where it's the end of the router tip, to here, the edge, flat edge, is just under 7 inches. So what I did is I made it a square, 7 by 7 pretty much, or like 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So for each one, I did 2 inches, 2 inch, 2 inch, 2 inch. So each of these would be close to, here, let me get over so you can see, close to a 1/2 inch. So I originally tried, as you can probably see the line, I tried to do it this at about 3.5, about halfway the width here, but if you can see, it would have looked a little off, probably still okay, but I decided to go an extra inch. So instead of from here to here, 3.5, I did it 4.5, and it looks much nicer that way. Also, this is 2 inches wide, 2 inches wide, 2 inches wide, 2 inches wide. Okay, so that's how the E turned out. Okay, so I'll end up sanding them because my wife wants to kind of make it look like a rustic kind of look to it, so I'll sand them later. So and the A was a little more difficult. So what I did here is 2 inches, 2 inches. Up here, as you can see the lines, I had it at 2 inches, but I wouldn't have been able to get all this here at 2 inches. So I did 2 inches down to this tip here, and then I did 2 inches over here and 2 inches over here. And when I drew that line from here to here, this came to 3 inches. So that means this is 2 inches, that is 2 inches. And then what I did is I kind of went up. And this became a little over an inch. You can see here. Let me grab the... Oh, sorry. See, it became an inch. So I ended up going it, as you can see the line here, 2 inches up here. So I went up here. And then since I wanted the width here be 2 inches, I went an inch down, an inch up. And it turned out good. The T obviously is super easy. 2 inches. 2 inches from the middle. So I just used my jigsaw here, and to cut out the middle here, I just drilled a couple holes here to get it in, to get the jigsaw in, and then I cut it out here. Here was a little tricky, so what I ended up doing, now if you do have a file, you can file it, and which I'll do later to sand it, is I came in here and then I came in here, and then I kind of curved it so it would cut off this piece, and then I just used... Now, one thing I want to show you is the blade here. Hopefully you can see that. I did want to use a fine tip blade so it didn't rip this wood. And as you can see, I haven't even sanded it. I didn't even sand it, and it came out pretty smooth, right? This piece was from actually my circular saw, not from my jig. Jig would have been everything inside here, but you can see if you use a thicker blade or with bigger teeth, there's a chance you can rip it. So I wanted it to be as fine as I could. Now, if also want to look, because sometimes if you go to use even a finer one, it'll say metal on it. It's for cutting metal. So what I've noticed too is trying to cut wood with those is so fine that it takes a lot of effort to cut through it. So you want one that at least has the teeth on it, like here. And this was my finest blade, and it cut really easy. Now that they're cut, I'm going to do a black stain. Let's see, classic black stain. So I'm going to use this little brush because I don't want too much on it, because I just wanted to see the wood grain. So I even have like a rag there just in case I need to wipe any excess off, because I don't want too much on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on this side. This is the back side to see how it looks first, and then I'll do it on the other side. And I might like this side. See, I don't like this here because I don't think that'll stain nicely. So, but if you look, it's nice on the other side. So, but I just want to do the test on the back side just to see how the stain's going to come out before I test it on the good side. Because if I test on the good side and I don't like it, and then I gotta either recut pieces or sand it down to get the stain off it. So I'll just test it on the back side first. So I'm just going to put this on with that little brush. It's kind of like a little mini sponge. See, and then if I need to, wipe the excess off for it. Now first, before you do that, you want to make sure, because we sanded this, to wipe off all the dust on it. Make sure all the dust is off it before you start staining. Okay, so I'm going to start putting some stain on here and I'll come back. And see, yeah, you can see where that kind of line was where the grain is. I don't like really how that turned out there. Let's see farther away. So I'll try the other side of that. I actually like how the wood grain comes through on this though. So we'll see how the other side is. The other side has some nice grains on it too. But the good thing about letters, we can make them work no matter what side. This side doesn't look too bad. You can still see now that it's starting to dry, you can see some of the brown coming through, getting a little darker. I don't know how good you can see that. But we'll try that side later on. We'll see what side works better. But as you can see, actually looks pretty good. Alright, so I'll go let this dry for a little bit. I'll try the other side, and then plus I'll even do this. By the way, I'm wearing rubber gloves here just because wiping this stuff off, it's going to get on your hands. So better to wear some gloves. It'll come off, but some stains are a little harder to come off once. So it's just easier to wear some kind of glove or something like that, or just to protect your hands. So let this dry. We'll do the other side. We'll do all the little around the edges, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, and we'll be right back. Okay. So now it is up, and you can see. So what I did is I had some picture hangers here, and I just wanted little hooks, right? And I didn't want to put nails in here, so what I did is I used a staple gun. I put some 1/4-inch staples on there, has a little hook, and then I got a little hook there, and I put it in, and I countersunk it so almost in the wall. So let me see here, get this on. So when it is on, even at the side, there's not a big gap away from the wall. And there you go. So if you got any questions, leave in the comment section below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell to be notified when I post another video. We'll talk to you later.